from Psalm 85. I will hear what the Lord God has to say, a voice that speaks of peace. Peace for his people and his friends, and those who turn to him in their hearts. For his help is near for those who fear him, and his glory will dwell in our land. Mercy and faithfulness have met. Justice and peace have embraced. Faithfulness shall bring from the earth, and justice look down from heaven. The Lord will make us prosper, and our earth shall yield its fruit. Justice shall march before him, and peace shall follow his steps. Psalm 85. The Psalms are a comfort. And then there's a verse from the New Testament writer James. He says, "Do not, my brothers and sisters, speak ill of one another. The one who speaks ill of his brother or sister or judges them is speaking against the law. It is the law he judges. If, however, you judge the law, you are no observer of the law. You are its judge. There is but one lawgiver and judge, only one who can save and destroy. Who then are you to judge your neighbor?" Amen. Good morning, Bridge Nation. Welcome to the Early Rise. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ronnie Thwaites. I've been doing this for years, and it's a real privilege to wake up Jamaica, to wake up Jamaicans in the diaspora all over the world, to join them midday wherever their time zone is, with good vibes about this country, about the beauty of our nature, the wit of our people, the challenges we face, and the opportunities that we're going to snatch from all of the difficulties, external and internal. I wonder if you understand the profound message of the two tunes that Ollie just played for us. One Dream, Ernie Smith, and Satisfaction by Carl Dawkins. Yeah, we choose the music very carefully. They reflect the values. What is that saying to us? That in the midst of a world that is grasping after territory, check what's happening in Eastern Europe right now. In a world that people are hoarding all that they can and seeking satisfaction. Yeah, it doesn't work, That's not it. What Ernie and Carl talking about is the integrity and the beauty of personal relationships. They're seeking love. Yeah, money can't buy love, Sufficiency, modest sufficiency helps love to thrive. There's no doubt. Yes, poverty is a demeaning and cruel existence. But I'm just wondering, in the midst of all of this maelstrom that we live in, whether we shouldn't have to reorient our values and understand what really comes first. And it's friendship, it's relationship, it's productive work, it's the community that we build among ourselves. Here at the Bridge and everywhere else we are, that really makes for human flourishing and happiness. And isn't that what we seek? Yeah. In my work, I have to oftentimes deal with people who are dying. Sounds dismal to talk about on a Tuesday morning, but it's life, And I've never seen a dying man or woman reach for their checkbook. Never. What I hear is words about love and about forgiveness and about blessing and about hope and relief. Yeah, that's what I hear. And that's what makes a difference. So let's get the values straight in Jamaica. Maybe then we wouldn't have a headline like we do in the Observer this morning. What's the headline? The headline is "Cut Them Up." Now what they're talking about. They're not talking about paper or some items to be cooked into something beautiful, but rather they're talking about human persons. They're talking about the gang culture, yeah, which people swear that they will cut up their enemies into pieces. That's what's coming out in this macabre story of the so-called one-down trial in Kingston right now. And this is the dark side of our existence in Jamaica, Really bad. Really bad. And of course, the immediate reaction is, but you cut them up before they can cut you up. But you see, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. It obviously doesn't work. Look at the statistics. Yes. And so we have to ask a deeper question, even as we resist being cut up. My God, what a way to have to describe any element of human life. Okay, but we have to ask how people reach that stage in their life where they want to do that. What happened to their mother? What happened to their father? What happened to them church? School? Where them learn that from? They never learned that by hearing the melodious lyrics of Ernest Smith and Carl Dawkins, did they? So where it come from? And if you don't ask those questions, and if you don't answer those questions, if you don't relate the answers to those questions to the way you raise your picnic or somebody else picnic in the yard, or in your classroom, or in your business relationship, or on the street, then you deal with nothing. You know that? Yeah. So, yeah. One dream and satisfaction. Satisfaction comes from love, from relationships, from comity, from friendship, from tolerance, from compassion. Yeah, things that Jamaica is known for, side by side with the cutting up. What a thing. Anyway, welcome to the Bridge Nation. It's a higher plane we deal with in this country, in this station. Looking for the higher life, bigger vibes, better vibes. Today is Tuesday, February 22nd, 6 days away from the end of February. My goodness. And hope to be joined by the Honorable Pearnel Charles later on for a spirited discussion. And later on in the program, our friend Steve McDonald from Yaad Market in Toronto is going to be with us. He has some things to tell us, you see, and some opportunities to point out that if we would only grasp them, then we would have, what it is oddly, greater satisfaction. Yes, our dreams would become reality. Things right in front of us, could I do it? Yes, things to do with breadfruit and bammy and all them things that we used to and that we know how to deal with. This is the Bridge, 99.13579 on the FM dial, and you can live stream www.thebridge99fm.com wherever you are in the world, anytime it suits you to check in with us. And we have some connecting lines too. WhatsApp line is 876-551-5782. And our studio line is 876-676-4996. Write it down. If like me, so good with the numbers, you need to put it in your phone. And you need to remember it. Call us, check us. Yeah, a new day, a new ethic, a new philosophy of life, a new set of behavior patterns in Jamaica. Always tell you how the weather stay in this country, even if it makes you regret that you're not close by. But hush. The Meteorological Service of Jamaica's forecast for today is that in the morning we can expect isolated morning showers, mainly across sections of northern parishes. And this afternoon we can expect isolated showers across sections of southern parishes. It will be windy, especially across the north coast. Okay, February weather, pretty much normative, though we're seeing some rough edges and different patterns, no doubt instigated by climate change at certain times. There you are. Well, here we go. Very happy to tell everybody, everywhere, that we have news that the Governor General, Sir Patrick Allen, has been released from University Hospital. He wasn't feeling well yesterday, and he had to be admitted for tests. But he's feeling better now. That's great. And we send out warm greetings to Sir Patrick and to the wonderful Lady Allen. They're two gracious people, and they serve us well. And we hope that they will have good health and long life. Good. So we wish that for all, but it's important for us to recognize the worth and importance of our leaders. Yeah, because they bear heavy responsibility, and the Governor General has a particular responsibility because he really is the symbol of unity in this country, as far as the governmental arrangements are concerned. Other people can be symbols of unity too, you and your family, you who are the minstrels and the poets of this country, all can do that. Religious leaders, business leaders, etc. But the Governor General is especially so. And I don't know. I've never spoken to him about this, but I believe him. He would be quite happy to bow and shake hands with the Queen and tell her goodbye, good morning, and have a long life. But he would, like the former Governor General in Barbados, Dame Sandra Mason, become the President of the Republic of Jamaica, because he has served well. And my only encouragement to him is that he must come out more, and he must speak the words of unity and of inspiration to our people. He's done it already. What's his marvelous phrase? There's nothing that's wrong with Jamaica. That's what is good for Jamaica cannot cure, or words to that effect. That's very good. And his award system. But we don't need a bashful head of state. We need somebody who comes and is a visible symbol of unity. As Pope Francis says, the shepherd must smell like a sheep. You must go into the byways and highways. You know what the Governor General's presence just walking through the inner city and the country parts would mean? Yeah, man. It's a sign of the best of us. That's what he represents, eh? Oh, you mean? Now that? Anyway, thank goodness he's better. We have to discuss later on when Pearnel comes the statements by Governor Richard Biles of the Bank of Jamaica. Well, how much people were called governor? Anyway, all right. He's a governor of the Bank of Jamaica, and he has warned, here you know, oh Lord, what a preke, spell preke. He has warned that more price increases are on the horizon, but so too are stronger policy measures. A hint that additional rate rises are also coming. The idea is if you raise the interest rates, then you will be able to hold prices because you will depress consumption because people won't have as much money. But then how do you get growth? I ask Mr. Richard Biles and Mr. Dr. Nigel Clark and all the others. How do you get growth in the economy? More jobs when it is harder to set up businesses because credit is more expensive. Yes? I mean, the situation, we know how it goes, I know in years past of people who borrowed money at 17% oddly for various business. And by the time they had to pay it back, the interest rate was 71%. Now that's impossible. Not even ganja you can cultivate and sell and pay that kind of interest. And that was the so-called FinSac era, where the government was paying these huge rates. Overdraft rates once went to 120%, in this country. Days we must never repeat, okay? But even now, at much less, we're still having difficulty. And therefore, and apart from the fiscal policy, when you hear from the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, said in the complicated way that governors of central banks speak, that we're going to have to pay higher prices, that is worries, big worries. I suppose, let me throw a word this morning. Can I do that? Kindly, yes. But I want to throw a word at the Minister of Finance. Listen, you have to raise the minimum wage when you speak in the budget. If you don't do that, then you are courting starvation, and you can talk all you want and get all the big up and the claps you get. Yes, that is hollow nonsense. In fact, it is reproachful for them to clap you when what the policies that we are facing are in fact, leading us to greater want. That don't make sense. How does that make sense? And so let us be clear where we're going. I believe that and understand that a great deal of our increased prices are imported stuff, things that we cannot afford to, prices that are forced upon us by the external sources and conditions. We are a very import-dependent country. But we can do something about ourselves. I want to hear the big push. Yes? You're going to laugh at me and say I'm too simple now. Go on now. I want to see more yard fowl. Yeah? Because if you don't have the $1,500 to pay for the chicken. Then and you want to feed your picking of them Sunday dinner. What are you going to do? A yard fowl is helpful. I want to see the recipes for feeding ourselves with rabbit. Yes, that's something Pearnel has always told us about from his childhood, and I want to see us growing more of what we eat. A massive program now to provide as much vegetable, as much protein as we can from our own resources. Then I will understand that we're taking as many steps as possible to abate our peril from these increased prices, which Mr. Biles is telling us about. Yeah. And when I read the big yellow book of the budget, you see, I don't see the change in the whole structure of government, which is namming up, spell NYAM, N-Y-A-M, namming up so much of our resources. I don't see the big change that is going to make the difference, that will set us on a road that is different from the one we are now, where people are really having difficulty, really having difficulty to make ends meet. So why we don't take a break and gather our wits and talk about other things on the early rise when we return. Good morning, Mr. Charles.
Good morning, Master Ron.
Happy to have you, sir.
Yes, I'm happy to be with you again this morning.
Good. What we do here, we try and share our views coming from widely different perspectives, but with one convergence, that we both are in love with this country, Jamaica.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think we are good candidates.
Yes?
Because we sort of share all of the various areas of life. The political,
Yes.
the racial,
Yes.
the religious.
Religious.
Have you ever thought about it?
I have, and it's one day, we really have to spend some time, because religion, rather than uniting, although it does that, often has in our history been a source of division.
Yes.
And that is so counter everything that religion should be, eh?
And in the separation,
Yeah.
there has to be some reason to say you're not that side, and it's not a positive one.
Yeah.
It cannot be a positive reason why you're on that side and I am on this side, and you're telling people, don't stay with that side, come with my side.
And then what happens is that young people, yes, I don't know about your grandchildren, I don't know if you have great-grandchildren yet, but
Yes.
Many times what I find is that young people are appalled at the divisiveness that we older ones take for granted. And they say, but listen, I can't figure through all of your thing about the 16th century and who is this and what is that and which is true and which is who going to go heaven and who going to go hell. And therefore, let me just take away myself entirely, which robs them of the beauty of the beauty of a spiritual sensibility, eh?
And that is why the cry is, where are the young people?
Yeah.
They're not in the church as it used to be.
No.
And
therefore we deny ourselves a profound socializing element in the society, and leads, as we were discussing before we came on the air, this horrible, frightening headline in the Observer this morning: "Cut them up," referring to human beings.
Yes, we're referring to gangsters.
Gangsters.
Referring to how they should handle women, men, and children.
Actually, they were talking about fellow gangsters who turn traitor.
Yes.
But we can't deny it applies broadly. You remember that horrible case that we were discussing yesterday?
Oh yes.
With the driver from Grace Kennedy.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
I mean, so.
And the one that I
yes.
that cannot leave my mind. No. I pray about it. Yes. I do everything about it. But I just
unrequited.
I cannot. A 10-year-old girl.
So I want to know what is the pathology in our Jamaican consciousness. I shame when we have to talk about these things, Pearnel.
Yeah, but listen, if we don't talk about it, it makes us sick.
Yeah, no. But when you think of people listening to us abroad,
Yes.
who want the best for their country,
Yes.
who are proud to be Jamaicans,
Yes.
who distinguish themselves in otherwise sometimes hostile or indifferent community about themselves, and who talk up Jamaica. Yes? Steve McDonald, who we're going to talk to later this morning from Toronto, proud Jamaican.
Yes.
And he has to cope with the fact that that on the Jamaican station beaming to the diaspora and friends abroad, we have to talk about cut them up.
Yes, but
Oh my God.
there's another thing. Consider a Jamaican person walking into 42nd Street in an office, and somebody said, "You're from Jamaica? You saw the paper today?"
Yeah, that's
Right.
it. That's it. That's the point.
They are embarrassed.
Yes,
Although yesterday they were saying, "Go to Jamaica."
yes.
Right? Sand, white sand, and
Yeah.
beach.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah. So I have to ask a question: what is it? What is a pathology that is causing significant numbers of our people to be of the frame of mind that they are so full of hatred, they're so nihilistic, that they would even use those words, let alone carry out those deeds, Mr. Charles?
Ronnie, the system that we are operating makes some people very, very vexed. Very, very.
So what we're going to do about that, sir?
Well, you have the solution. I mean, you have to pray for some. You have to train some.
You have to
Some don't respect the prayer. Some won't take the training.
Yeah.
And
You have to imprison some. No, but hey, but look at that. So come take it off. And I'm dying. I know you're going to tell me that we have to eliminate some. Yes, which I don't agree with. But when we talk about imprisoning, look at what the news came last week. These are the avoidable things that we can do differently. We heard about the young people who are in prison
Yes.
or in the remand centers.
Yes.
These are children.
Yes.
Yes. And they are receiving no schooling. Yes. They are receiving no rehabilitative or very little rehabilitative
They're
effort.
just detained. They're not imprisoned there.
Well, they lock up.
Yeah, but I mean, for 1 day, 2 days.
No. Some are no, sir. Some of them are there for a long time. Some of them are awaiting trial for years, or months, if not years. Some of them are deemed to be unruly and therefore have to be taken away. Yes, there are numbers of children in prison who are in fact receiving very little, if any, rehabilitation. We saw over the weekend 2 girls, was it, who absconded from one of the so-called places of safety. Where do you think them gone, sir? Them gone to man in the community. But can't go back now to their home. These are 14-year-old girls, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
We are breeding the very infection that when it becomes full-blown pandemic, yes, we have to be spending billions on to correct. Can't do it that way, sir.
Well, not enough of us believe in the alternative and are ready to make a sacrifice because it's a major sacrifice.
Yeah.
The opposite of what you're saying.
Yeah.
To do the rehabilitation,
Yeah.
the training,
Yeah.
and to put them on that path and keep them on that path.
Yes.
It's not a talking thing.
No, sir. It's and it goes back to some very intimate and very controversial things.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to talk it raw this morning, Mr. Charles, because man and woman who come together to have sex, unprotected sex, they have to be very careful, you know. That is where the big choice comes in, because you cannot decide, say, you're going to do that for whatever feelings or in whatever circumstance or induced by whatever liquor or whatever. You cannot do that and then find yourself with a child that you can't manage.
It's the most careless moment in that sort of
Oh, my
relation.
goodness. Thank you, sir.
Because you drink,
Yeah.
you dance,
You feel away.
you whisper in their ears, you smile,
Yeah.
and you forget everything else until a few days you say, my God, wait, what happened here?
Yes.
It don't come.
Yes. So my view is that these things will happen or do happen, but it involves a level of personal responsibility.
Yeah, but what Ronnie, it also requires teaching.
Yes. Are we teaching them?
Yeah, well,
sufficiently?
Yes, some teaching is taking. Some teaching is taking place. I mean, but the class is getting bigger.
And we're not trying to make anybody feel guilty,
No.
What we're saying is, listen, hey, we can do it a better way. And those who have found themselves in that situation, for whatever reason, put up yourself, try your best.
Yes, but one of the bad things about that situation, some of those who have found themselves in that situation are vexed, upset. Why am I here? And I find somebody to blame.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes they blame the parents.
Yeah.
They don't blame themselves.
No, but all I'm saying is understand all of those, but those sentiments. But for God's sake, do not visit your vexation upon your picnic.
Yes.
Yes? I tell the story, Mr. Charles, of the little boy, Mirazwick little boy I met hanging on behind the light post at Papine because mother sent him for wait upon him father. Yes? Forget something. So the man come up, what you do here? What you want? Mother send me. Yeah, forget some money if it mind me. Tell your were mother that that me no have nothing for her. Me no know if it's me. And she have more money between her foot, between her leg, than me having in my pocket. And no good boy, look how you stay.
Yes.
You know what you've done to that child?
Well, Ronnie.
Jesus.
I am well aware.
You've cut them up.
I'm well aware that when that guy walk off and turn his eye back and look on that father, that he wouldn't like to see him in a room sleeping.
No.
And see a gun or a knife there. Yeah. Because that has now taken hold of that part of his brain, his mind, his embarrassment, and people have been listening and laugh.
So why don't we spend more time in this time of budget? Why don't we spend more money? Why don't we use the huge influence that government has? Yes?
Before you get onto that and hold it, somebody has just said in their room, it's few people do that, do you know, Ronnie? Hold on. The majority of people don't do that.
It's true. Thank God.
Well, so let us not go on as if it's everybody.
No, there's plenty to do.
Right?
There's plenty.
And let's praise those.
Indeed. Lord of mercy, you're right.
Some of them, Ronnie, have nothing to do with the woman.
Yeah.
They said the little boy there, so what you doing out here? I'm waiting on my father. So for what? He have to give some money because we don't have no food. And say, come. Don't know him,
Oh, Lord.
Take this and go back
Listen
home.
to me.
And it's not father hold on alone.
No. People on the street. What I tell
That's
you.
not food for the poor alone.
Listen to me. If you are a worthy recipient of the Order of Jamaica.
Yes.
If I had my way, some of them big women, and man included too, yes, who in a yard, whether in North Clarendon or Central Kingston, managed to take a little $1,000, little $1,000, and feed all 15, 20 people a Sunday daytime, and then forget OJ too, rather than some of them push-up people. I see, I get it.
Hold on, you know what was one of my headline speech many years ago?
Tell me.
On a Sunday evening, when you cook for your family, and you eat, you're very full, and a whole heap of food leave, and you pack it up, put it in the fridge, you set it till it's spoiled, you get a dog. And next door,
somebody want it.
Miss Bertha,
she know have it.
live in a one room, no picnic for help her, and you don't make it a duty to send little food to her.
But that is that spirit that you are enunciating is the reverse, is the antidote to the cut them up.
Yes.
That is a spirit that stitches together community, that brings a wholeness to it, and is religion we're talking, but we're not talking about that in theological terms. We're talking about in terms of simple acts of kindness, of compassion on something as basic as Sunday dinner.
You saw Patricia the other day.
Yes.
And that young man there is Michelle's son.
Lovely.
What I did with my children on Sabbath evening, is go and look for people in the community.
Excellent.
And up in Red Hills, there was a family we understand live on a tent. And a woman was there with about 6 children. And we said, all right, everybody pack up some food, everybody carry their thing. Daddy, I go and carry biscuit, I go and carry a bread, I go and carry this, and I'm going to carry some milk. And I said, no, listen to me. I am a cultural and social person. I study that in order to be what I am in the environment I am. Don't just go and tell people you bring food for them. They'll embarrass. So we go and we, Sabbath evening, we pray and
talk, socialize.
And I said, make you understand, you want to eat too. Don't go there and believe so because them poor and hungry. You can't carry food, can't get them. And you know, eat some. I said, why? I said, because you would do it. If a man just carry food, can't give you, you would eat it. No, so all right. So we went there and we all participated. And
that's wonderful.
We get a chance to give them more of it.
Of course.
Right? But you see, all of us.
And you share yourself.
And that makes a difference.
Listen to me.
In family.
That, of course, it strengthens you.
Exactly.
It makes you happy, and it also is a bigger lesson to your children than plenty what them get in the school.
And then one day, Michelle asked me, Daddy, why all of this? He said, no, you know how I reach where I am? You know how I get you to reach where you are?
Yes.
The people.
Yeah. But you see, that...
Little people.
Okay, sir. But that is the entire opposite to the hyper-individualism, to the dog-eat-dog. If you trouble me, I cut you up. Yeah? Don't talk to me about anybody else.
But you said it the other day, you know. I have to say it again. Because you and I are very fortunate that we were born in an environment, in a home, either outside or inside, that we had parents, we have family that taught us the way. Some of them is like the little boy, no see no father. Mother can't give him anything, him hungry. Mother said, boy, listen, go to Rogo, see if you find your father. They can give you something. That is when the little boy leave yard, from down a puppy, going up to that. What him saying to himself?
Exactly. By any means necessary. Have to survive. And if him have a thief, if him have a scam.
But him have to.
Of course.
Him hungry.
But then...
Ready. I used to say this to you know. You see some young boy upon the road, and there's a glass case full of bread. And them hungry. And them start to look at one another. Not talking now. They just look at one another and look upon the bread. What do you think they want to pass it?
No.
And then when them broke the glass case, they took out the bread, a policeman come up and arrest them.
Yes, sir. So, sir, let us translate now that reality into national policy. And let us say that it is not an act of kindness or soft-heartedness, as many people will listen to us and think, that we are that we are speaking about. We have to relate this to how we spend the money.
Yes, but
look
where there is a problem with me and you, is that you think that some of these can be rehabilitated. We're late.
Yeah, so we
have to take care of those that are young now.
Yeah.
Because some of them,
if
you try to teach them and cut you up.
Yeah, the late Carlstone was of that view, similar view to yours, that there were some who were irredeemable. Yes?
But you don't believe that?
No.
No, because you are looking at it from a religious point of view.
But I have to, because that's the origin of all things.
Yes. Yeah. Now, I'm looking at it from a different socio-cultural point of view.
Yeah. But
there's nothing, hold on, first thing, him don't want a bread.
Wait, that's all?
He want ham and bacon.
Who teach him that? Because what? Who teach him say that the only good life is to live on some big house in the hill? Who teach him say that you know what? Until you drive one car and have outrider in front of you.
Yes,
who teach him?
The society, Ronnie. The society.
So who share the blame?
But then hold on now. You're going to tell me that because I have an opportunity to drive a car.
No, I'm not telling you that at all.
Or because I have an opportunity to become
No, but what I'm saying is I have to work. I who have the opportunity.
That is the key word.
Yes.
Tell him to work, no?
Of course.
He won't tell us where you go.
And that one who tell me for where to go when there's an opportunity for him to work.
Yeah.
Him police will deal with.
Oh, no, you thought you was going to tell him to cut them up.
No. Listen to me.
No, but hold on.
I
am not. I don't want you to get the impression, or audience to get the impression that I don't understand. But sometimes I think you disregard that element, and I have to bring it in.
Okay.
Because trust me,
I love the balance, I'm instructed by you.
It's bad out there, Ronnie.
Of course it is.
Ronnie,
but then
hold on. Do you know that there are some mothers and fathers who try extremely hard?
Each one of us to raise picnics is a terrible thing. Very hard.
Where the child come from?
Yes, sir.
Him head tough, them say.
Tough.
He won't take it in.
But then you have
him broke stick put behind in years.
Well,
right?
Believe me, I from personal experience, as much as you speak about your family, and I could about mine.
Yeah.
Raising children is a very hard job. You have to be very, very careful what you're doing.
Because what? There are many.
In the best of circumstances.
And there are many out there who are teaching them too, you know.
Of course.
And I told you about when young Pearnel was about 11 and went to high school. And he was so young, so I said, listen, you have to teach him what's going to be at high school.
Yeah.
I said, call him. I said, sit down, son. Now you're at Campion. There's a break. And when there's a break, you see like 4 and 5 boys go around the tank. And when you get around there, you see them smoking and don't join them. So Daddy should have told me that from last year.
Well, but that only emphasizes the point that you needed to make.
Exactly.
But no, I am concerned, you see, because we have a public voice, that we translate these sentiments into what we do with our resources. I keep saying, I don't know if you agree with me, the budget of the country, which is the intent of the community, the best resources of the community, where we elect people like Pearnel Charles and Ronnie Thwaites and others, yes, to put their hands in our pockets and take out what we have there, hopefully what we have earned there, yes, honestly, and to spend it for the public good. And that is the symbol, the sign, the opportunity, the substance of making the difference. This is budget season, yeah? I'm listening yesterday to the news, Mr. Chair. I have to put this to you. The education budget is flat, okay? But we are spending $8 billion this year projected. It's probably going to be more to keep Jamaica urban transit alive.
Yes. And Ronnie, there's a similar amount of people.
Oh, my God.
Hold on. There's the same quantity of people who, if you say, I did.
Yes.
I shut it down, you know.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
Because it was running with 5 people and no people.
But that's exactly the situation. No, that's
It's
why I
the
bring it
same
to you.
thing, no.
That's why I bring it to you.
Yes,
with your history.
Yeah,
but and I'm not saying you have to close it down. But clearly, spending $8 billion. Look what you do.
Hold on. Go ahead. Finish that. Send it.
I want to say, if you
realize that there is a set of people who are waiting for you to say the bus wasn't run?
No. Yes, I do recognize that.
And they're as forceful as you, as they
but are they right?
Run and
they tell
you. They'll tell you that 12 o'clock at night when the cab them gone home, if the bus not there, we can't go home.
No, that's fine. So let's make sure that we cover those grounds too. Legitimate. But what I am saying is, as big people, we have to make priorities. Okay? And if we had that $8 billion, yes, or a portion of it, to spend on better education and training on those who were prone to cut up each other or to feel the kind of frustration that you would think. We would be in a better position than we are spending that. And I want to see those who we have elected, yes? Not just big up themselves and proud of where them get. Yes, but rather to use that in order to see that the common good of the people, which is now being threatened, vulnerable by people who grow up with a mentality that they must cut up somebody else to get their own way.
There's a little hole that you live in.
Tell me. Must be a big hole.
Look here. There are enough young children that if you take any of that $8 billion to put, and who my father said, boy, in Carro, which meaning gone.
Really? Never hear that one.
You don't burn with okra. When you bend back okra top,
Yeah.
if it can't break off,
Yes.
it curl.
Curl.
It
Gone.
means
Can't
that
eat it.
okra can't eat again.
No.
You have to make it dry. It's a country boy business. But anyhow,
Thank you, sir.
what I am trying to say, Ronnie, is that there is not enough money to prevent the present generation from getting to the gang of cut up. So if you're going to use that money now to rehabilitate the gang up, they're just going to come to fill into the...
Well, come and find some more billions. But
you always have that.
Even if we
find it where?
Of course, listen.
All right, okay. Hold on. Let me show you a simple one.
Find it where.
If tomorrow...
You are going, like say, Jamaica poor.
Hold on.
Jamaica not poor.
No, hold on. But the whole that word. But let's deal with this one first. If, for example, the Prime Minister, and I have suggested this in many cabinet, an emergency tax, like a 6-month tax, which has never been too acceptable to the money people in the civil service. I say, if the Prime Minister had put on a $6 tax 6 months ago on vehicle and gas, to do what you want them to do, we'd have a riot in this country. Yet, the price of gas has gone up more than that.
Sure.
And nobody don't say anything.
No.
So,
But if you think they're happy, you go on.
So I am saying, yes, it's a good idea to take both the young to prevent them to get old, to take both the old to rehabilitate them from the cut-up mine. But you cannot afford it not only in manpower, but in money power.
But what you do, you can afford to buy, to put billions of dollars in national security equipment. You can afford to spend money on a wide variety of things. I don't want to be invidious before we break. Yes, on feathering the nest of people without any sense of accountability for them.
You remember what was happening to poor Dr. Chang when the police were walking in Halfway Tree, walking in downtown,
No, listen,
walking.
hello, sir. You can
when last 66 police walking?
You can find not recently.
And the point is,
We can find reasons for every.
it is good for them to be able to run around, move around.
We can find problems for every solution, sir. But we have to set priorities. And my position that I'm advancing respectfully to you is that the priority must be towards human upliftment.
And I don't have any objection to that, but it is easier to talk than to do.
Well, yeah, but let's explore that with the few minutes we have in this segment, because it is impossible to do, in my view. Why? Because you have a chronically divided electorate, one, and two, because we have pushed ourselves in a corner where the majority of our people have lost the national spirit.
Let's take those two things that you put there.
Yeah.
That's very important. Can that be solved overnight?
It can be solved, no, but it can be started. The solution can start overnight.
But that's always been there, running.
No, but it can't. And it hasn't served us well.
Attempt from you and many of us.
But but you can't give up, because if you give up, all you're doing is spiraling down in the situation that we find ourselves now. Yes, where.
I hear Amanda's ball up, Mr. Charles. You make it look like it done. It's finished.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, the man. Listen to him, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, but I'm a realist.
No, but the realist.
I am a realist.
No, but you're more than that.
I have been there.
No, but you're more than that.
I have tried.
You're a good man.
I have seen.
Yes.
Right?
So what you say? You can't do more? So where you want powerful if you can't do better?
Let me tell you what I have concluded. You see the two classes that you put for us? The mass at the bottom and the little cut-uppers at the top. As far as I am concerned, make sure that none come out of the mass into that cut-up group. So we don't have enough money or manpower, right? To take a 25, 35-year-old man now and retrain him.
We have to do other things with him, but we don't have enough money. But we have $8 billion to go throw down the whole of JUTC.
Yes, man, you can always say that. You can always say that.
But you agree with me. You agree with me.
Yes, but we don't have enough Ronnie to do that either.
No, not so. We have abundant talent. We have abundant talent. I listened to a lady last night. I don't know if you saw it on television. Her name is Angela Moore. I want to ask Lafayette.
That's a police lady?
No, she was marvelous.
That
police lady talking in Maypen.
Yes.
But this is a lady, a Jamaican teacher, who has gone to England.
Yes.
And she has taken.
I think I know the name.
Failings. Yes, I know, but it's a different one. Yes. She has taken a failing school full up of different from different ethnic origins.
Yes.
And made it now the finest primary school in England. Yes. You tell me we don't have enough talent.
You'd like to spread that out.
What do you mean?
Yes.
That is a multiplication of loaves and fishes, and Jesus talked.
And I put up my both hands. I cannot object.
No, but I want to get her on this program because I want her to inspire us.
I cannot object to that.
Yes.
Right? And it is happening right here in Jamaica too.
But we need to multiply it.
Yes, but ready.
So it shows us what we can achieve.
Come back to my father word.
You're too
some
realist.
Of them Coro.
Yeah, but then you see, they're always going to be Caro, and then you end up in the position that you don't really espouse. That when them Caro, you're talking about human beings now, that you end up having to suggest that they should be eliminated. Oh God.
Yeah, but I don't want you to.
You don't believe that?
To wipe me out with that.
No, I can't do that.
But Ronnie, when three boys decide, them no work. Them not work no $30 a day.
You know what I found, sir?
Hold on. And this girl pass had food and bus and park truck.
Yeah.
And them stop the truck and dig out her 2 eye.
Oh God.
And shoot her.
No, extreme cases.
But Ronnie, the extreme cases that we have are so broad now.
So why? Why? You think by eliminating them, you're going to eliminate the flow of other people coming into that category? So what you will have to do is...
If you work a little harder, you will get me to come round. That if we can...
You know what? Years ago...
I don't know if we can train them.
You can. Years ago, I remember.
Train them and save the younger ones coming up.
Yes, sir.
So we have a budget to train boat.
Yes, sir.
We missed the boat with this group that's up here cutting up. They should have been trained from me and you. We're privileged to be trained by our parents and sent to a school.
Yeah, but you see,
and help.
You're not giving me an answer. You're telling me a problem as we pause on the early rise on Bridge 95. You won't get this kind of discourse elsewhere. You hear the Honourable Pearnel Charles and myself. We soon come back. We're not done yet. And this is the early rise with the Honourable Pearnel Charles Sr. and myself. We're talking about the affairs of the nation, and later on we're going to have Steve McDonald, our friend from Yaad Market in Toronto. He's going to talk about once again, and repetition aids learning, is the tremendous opportunity for Jamaican produce that could make the change in our economy and in our national direction if only we would do it. Yes, we speak about diversifying the economy. That's the Minister of Finance. We speak about a new deal in agriculture. That's the Honourable Pearnel Charles Jr. Yes, and this, if we could only concentrate on doing that and really have a national focus, we'd be in a much better financial position than we are, or that we are going to be, if we listen carefully to Mr. Richard Biles. Pearnel Charles, tell me, just on that. That was the Bank of Jamaica's press conference recently, yesterday, I think. What word do you have for the people that you have put you where you are? What word do you have for them when in 2022 we are saying to them, yes, Mr. Biles put it in all kind of economics language, but we're saying it broadly. Your price is going to go up, your life is going to become harder this year. What you say to them?
Well, Mr. Biles don't have to face them for vote. Because if he be and you, go and tell the people them that they wouldn't even, and probably 1/3 of them not going to vote anymore.
So what are you going to do? Tell them lie?
Well, the truth is this. The truth is this. Is Mr. Byers telling the truth?
Yeah. So,
well, if Mr. Byers is telling the truth,
so what you said? What we
he
said
has
to
no
them?
obligation to pretty it up.
Well, pretty tough by making it.
Put it the way you like it.
Sure. So tell me now, what do we say to people? Don't we have something called conscience? And where people are faced now with and he's confirming it, what we knew already, that food prices have gone up by 28-30% in the last little while, and likely to go up more. Yes.
My political philosophy is being damaged.
No, but I'm talking about
by the end result, the end of year result of all of these companies. No, you see any of them lose?
No.
Everyone profit has
double.
triple.
Sure.
So hold on now.
Especially in the financial sector.
So hold on.
Who has the opportunity to change that?
You tell me.
The government of Jamaica.
I see.
Acting on behalf of the people of Jamaica and having a conscience for those who are in a situation where they cannot make ends meet. And it's not just take away their money. We're not talking about that. We're talking about policies that favor the majority of people. Wasting $8 billion on JUTC is not a wise move. Feather bedding the public service by giving them increases which they deserve, which they need, without proper increases in their accountability. It makes no sense. Spending on a variety of things in the recurrent budget that we get accustomed to because it's always been there and it's politically difficult to change, cannot continue. Otherwise, we will never be able to remove our people from poverty.
So, Ronnie, you're very good at putting both sides one time. And
you're very good for my humility.
No. But when you put the plus and the minus one time, I don't have any. I don't have no middle ground, because the truth is, what you're saying is correct. To hear, but action on the ground don't support it.
Because for a number of reasons. One is because the two political sides that we represent, yes, however remotely, are congenitally looking over their shoulder at the other.
But that's what the system is.
And we have to change the system. And we are bright people. We are free people.
This is where you come again with your plus and your minus.
This is not Putin.
This is your plus and your minus. You're always able to take the minus sign and put it away and make it plus. Right?
Well, if that what is going to work? I am just worried that.
Well, the truth is, there's a consensus that needs to be arrived at for the working portion, and we have not. This system cannot work it.
But hear me now. Thank God. I don't have to say one word more.
Ronnie, this system cannot work what you are talking about.
So what we are going to do?
Well,
what we are going to do?
Make we go think about it.
No, no, sir.
Hold on. You see this.
When people go to school this morning and do a breakfast.
Whole heap.
And so what we are do? Just. You remember what happened to Marie Antoinette? Let them eat cake. What happened to her?
Yes, I tell you about your plus and minus. You're good at that, But I am saying, Ronnie, both of them can't work. You have to take one.
So tell me which one now. The one that is happening now is simply not working. Listen, don't tell me about political power. Political power is very important. Political power, we know in Jamaica how to get it. Yes? If you don't get it now, you will get it tomorrow. But is it serving the needs of the people? And what we are faced with, Pearnel, is an embarrassing situation for us who have devoted ourselves, or some of our lives, you much more than me, to this, is where the people are saying, listen, you're done good. We will put up with you. We will clap you. We will take what you have to give us. We will show you kin teeth. But we don't believe in you because look for you. How much year you did there? And it no make no difference to us. And things are get worse now. When we used to take the little $10,000 go to supermarket, now it can't buy it. And you have no answer for me. You tell me, hold on.
And me said to you, blame who you blame. Everybody turned on to blame poor Andrew.
Who say want to work? Who run it down and say I'm going to make it better? Who say if I say if I look the job and I get the job and swear to the responsibility, then when people look for me and I judge what me do or me don't do, me can't say don't look for me.
Yeah, but and when him try to do it, all I want to turn down for him.
No.
Yeah, all I want to turn down for him.
No.
All I want to turn him over and call him.
No.
Look here.
No, sir.
Right? The man is overwhelmed with digging out woman eye, chopping them up,
so come we
shooting them. That tears come to my eye. I want to laugh off time.
No, never. I did not.
Laugh off time. I say, him up there cry.
No. Not on the contrary. On the contrary, I did not. I understood.
Them shooting up the people, them and him say, listen, man,
not
when you catch him and them with gun, you know.
Not this
we might have to put him away. I say, what? No.
Put him away, meaning what? You use the right language. Kill him.
Eliminate him.
Kill. Murder.
No.
That's what you do.
No.
Yes.
No.
Not my phrase. Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela.
One is democratic and one is not
democratic. Democratic, you decide if I have to live or not. Boy.
No. You decide that you are acting in a way that you know.
No, I really don't want to get stuck on that, because it is beneath you. And it cannot be spoken as a totality. It cannot. And I know you agree with me that some of them are really bad. How much more you want? How many people the police killed so far this year?
Ronnie, how much police they kill?
None.
No, of course they kill police.
Well, if so, that is tragic. That is criminal. There's no tolerance for that.
Yeah.
The question is, are we going to become a situation of armed conflict in the society, schooled by political division, by racial division, by religious division to one extent or the other? Yes, that is it. That is the argument. That's the argument about the firearms thing,
Answer me this one before you go to the firearms thing.
Yeah.
A man with an M16 coming after a police who have a revolver.
No question. No question.
What he must do?
If his life is in danger, he must take the action to save his life.
Oh, hold on. So apart from, and you will say to me that some of them you don't believe.
No, I don't, because I know.
Yeah, but you are telling me that all of them.
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, so in other words, you are in support of those who the police believe he's in danger and he had to take care of it.
Yes, sir.
No, whether you like it or not, and I want to discuss it one morning. Right? This Indicom business.
Yeah. This Indicom business.
Yeah.
Indicom, one of the proudest moves in my life.
They should be reporting to the Commissioner of Police.
One of the proudest.
They're the biggest deterrent.
Now what?
Biggest deterrent to a policeman who's supposed to come.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We differ entirely. One of the proudest moments of my parliamentary life was to join with Bruce Golding.
Yes.
In the
formation
of Indicom.
I'm not objecting to it,
And put him under the control of the police. The police must govern themselves. They must be judge and jury of themselves. No, Mr. Charles.
So who they reporting to?
Parliament.
The Indicom reporting to Parliament.
Absolutely.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
No, but
we have a caller, sir. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Thwaites.
Hi, how are you, sir? Welcome.
I'm good. I am here.
Yes.
Tell me good morning.
And Mr. Charles.
That means you vex with me. It's all right, man.
No. We are not on that line.
Yes.
Good morning again, sir.
Sure. Welcome.
Yes.
Well, I really love the bridge, The bridge, this is really trying to bridge the gap between...
Well, cross over the bridge. Cross over to the bridge.
That's nice. That's nice to hear.
Sometimes you cross over the bridge, but when you look at the bridge, you can cut off behind you, and then the rest of people on the other side might not come across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I always get up early to listen to you guys.
Well, thank you.
And what I like about the bridge, we have two politicians here who have gotten their full dose of cussing and ratings and D-ratings and everything that is good and bad.
Does That's lovely. It's true.
Aerating.
So what you say?
You know, Ronnie is an A student, you know. I don't think I've ever gotten an A in my whole.
And then I like that bridge in there, because what you have between you guys is that I've been listening, you know, almost from start. But sometimes right now, this morning especially, I don't like tone that I hearing. You know why? It seems as if we are not. Only two guys supposed to be almost agreeing 75% with whatever you're saying. Why? What you're doing is trying to show a politician in a whole, like myself or other people who vote for the party them in Jamaica. Oh, it seems as if it's only when you leave the politics, then we can get most time the unity and the truth out of it. But my main issue is really the kids them, and something in Jamaica now is like we're on an autopilot. Why I say that is that every week you go to the shop, things raise. Every week you go to the hardware, things raise. Every minute the gas always raised by $2 and then it dropped by $0.25. We have to have something now where, for instance, you look at the public sector workers, all who work for government, I get 4% raise, and the things them are go up by 50%. This is like an insult to everybody that is working. If we do a little minimum wage, we are pan down and one down. We are say, boy, none of them ever lose them job and all of this.
Who do you blame, sir?
The bank is boasting how much money they make when the year is done.
Who do you blame? Who do you blame for that?
Make him finish.
I'm not blaming. What I want to see is that human resources, you can't spend too much money on human resources, you know, because you see, the youth them are born already, despite the parents, them never plan for them.
Okay.
And them same man a come vote in the politician, them same man a come go to church, and them same man we attend from farm work, and them same man a go do the good work and the dirty work. So we have to find the money now to make sure that them there, we're born already, have to come to something. And if we believe the boys through the parents, we just go love up our party and drink some liquor and bring them come. We still have more gunmen and few lawyers. And down the road, we have to start, so we have to bring people from foreign to come run in our constituency, because we don't have enough bright people to put in those places. So money cannot too much for we think to say, oh, we're going to turn this around, because that is where we see like you and Mr. Thwaites now, a tug of war over. No, we're supposed to say to the bank, them say, listen, you can't charge a man $10 for change a check, you know, charge him 2 cents. You look at the gas station and say, listen, you know, we used to have a thing named cess.
Yeah.
Where we used to can pay down upon the gas, and we still collect them thing there, and the gas still go. When the gas raise America today,
sir, the political, sir,
and we still make sure so them things they stay at a level. Because you can't give 4% raise and things are raised by 75%, sirs. Talk to me now.
The political system don't permit you to do what you're trying to say there. And it is the guiding light of the performance of the leaders.
And the difference between Mr. Charles and myself, and it's not a big difference because I think we can come together, is that I don't believe that I agree with what he says. The political system does not allow the fundamental changes that will help benefit the people enough. And I concede that I have been part of it, and I'm speaking of it in a sharper way now than perhaps I did then. But I insist that we must change it now. He sees it as being very difficult to change and wants and supports a more gradual change, when I support a more radical change.
Yes, at the first that I am non-radical, because
which surprises me.
No, Ren, because you see, I am speaking from the reality of the situation.
Yeah, but the reality of the situation is not static. The reality of the situation.
What the gentleman has just said.
Yeah.
You go to a gas station.
Yeah.
Who do you blame for the gas price going
I
up?
can tell you who.
Who?
Absolutely. Let's take time and do it. First of all, the public have been promised and have not received an understanding of how the price of gas is calculated. Yes, we do not know. We do not know the formula. We were told we were going to be told by Petrojam when they had a big fuss some time ago. We have never been told. Secondly, most of the
no, but don't come off of that because you have not been told what.
With how the margins are calculated, so that we can judge whether they are fair, reasonable in the circumstances. One, two, we the marketing companies, yes. To the best of my knowledge, they add a margin, yes, which is unearned. In other words, they do not add value to the product that comes from the same spigot at Petrojam, yes, but they get what 9% margin on the price. Thirdly, the caller is correct. We place tax upon the gas for a particular purpose. We no longer carry out that purpose, and yet we still keep the tax, which inflates the price. Fourth.
What do we do with the tax?
Pardon?
What do we do with the tax?
Some things that are excellent and some things that are wasteful.
Oh.
And fourthly, we need to move far more resolutely, this is long term, far more resolutely towards using renewable energy, and I don't think we're investing enough in that. Now, I've offered you, and I'm no expert, but those would be my thoughts that need to be, at the beginning thoughts, to be able to deal with those. We're not doing them.
The caller said
I asked along with the caller, why not?
The caller put something before you a while ago. The two generation, the present generation, to train and prevent them to become like our forward generation, the cut-up generation, right? And I am saying you cannot, I think he agrees with me, that we can't finance both. So one has to be sacrificed.
I'm listening carefully, you know. So
one has to be sacrificed.
I'm not here. Yes.
One has to be sacrificed.
What do you think of what Honorable Charles is saying? What I have said, caller?
All right. I agree with. Like I use 50% for now. Listen why. And I need to address more things. Because what I don't want...
That's the highest grade me ever get in school.
No, listen. I don't want between you guys... It's like we're getting back into the old politics. Now is the time when Mr. Charles and Mr. Thwaites can definitely say, listen me now. We don't like this and we don't like that. We don't have to hide under no umbrella now. You know, guys, no need we to vote for now again, you know. So what I would have wished, that's why I see me get up and not call, you know.
And appreciate it.
You know, is come out from under the colored umbrella.
Yeah.
And look for the thing and say, listen me now. We have to find the money to do these things. Yes. Because I want to not address the part where we are give 4% while things are go up 75%.
Wicked.
How can the nurse survive?
Yes.
How can the teacher survive? How can the police survive? How can the soldier survive? No.
How can the poor survive, sir?
So
because there are some people who don't have no banana for it this morning.
So
no tea, no sugar to put in the tea.
So who they must look to?
All right, who they must look to?
Yeah.
If I get Mr. Charles and Mr. Thwaites to say to them, Jamaica have too much wilderness now, you know. Every child that born from today, February, when get one house spot where the measurement is just so them can put up a house like we use a food for the poor house.
Yeah.
And we would not want somebody come in and buy 500 acre land and then move the people and they're there for 50 years, them parents there, chop out them woodland there and live on it. But the guys don't have to come out from under the umbrella and be a more unified body. It's not like we can't find the money for the 10 things because when election come, we can postpone 2 elections, you know, and use the money and spend on poor people, you know.
Sir,
would I believe that the both politicians, them wait now. Would I believe that the both politicians, they really love the country, you know. It's for instance the church. You can't get the church to come together for the nothing. And yet they must say the politician is this and that. The church is the biggest politics. So Jamaica, you know, a problem now. We are going to be the next 80, you know.
My brother.
We don't mind sharp, you know.
My brother, the time has run out on us, but I want to thank you sincerely for your call. Pearnel and I would have much more to say on it, but we're grateful to you waking up and listening to us, and even more so for sure.
I want unite up on the bridge. I want to stop right by the middle of the bridge and be united.
That's what we're trying to do.
Like under some colored umbrella.
No, thank you for being our police. All the best. My goodness. We soon come back. This is the early rise on the bridge. Steve McDonald's going to join us. Steve McDonald, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you both. How are you doing today? And good morning to your listeners.
Thanks very much.
Steve, I noticed that you have cleared the streets of Canada.
Yes, we have. We definitely have.
And
finally.
Men like Ronnie would say that why it took so long.
That's a very good question. Interestingly to note, though, we've lost our police, or the Jamaican police chief.
Why did he resign?
Ottawa.
Why did he resign? Because I don't think he what people say is too soft.
What is being said is that he did not respond quickly enough. Mm-hmm. But we still don't have a full understanding of what was in his mind.
Jamaicans don't cave in easily, you know. I was sorry to see that he left. Steve McDonald from Yaad Market in Canada, a frequent correspondent of ours, very grateful for his presence. So, all right. Well, does the clearing of the bridges and the protests, does it mean that people have settled down, or simply do we have a bitter, silent détente between various forces? It looked like Trumpism is invading Canada, Steve McDonald.
Well, eventually over time, the reason for the protest has changed. Uh-huh. And it was no longer about the vaccination and quarantine requirements, mm-hmm. but a whole slew of things. So your assessment is spot on.
Yeah, no, tell me. Yeah, we in Jamaica now are gradually, some would say uncertainly, controversially, relaxing our restrictions. Mm. Yes, Prime Minister, I think he's being very measured in this regard. And I can imagine the tensions between those who want to let go everything and then the Ministry of Health that's saying, no, go gradually. What's the situation in Ontario this morning, in Toronto where you are? What are
it's a similar situation in that the rules are being relaxed on a gradual basis. Uh-huh. So we have more areas being open. Also the capacity, what we've had was a capacity requirement. So those capacity requirements are being increased. So now we have...
you mean the number of people who can go to school, church, restaurant,
yes,
dance?
Yes, so those capacity are being increased. So it's gradually being opened up, and the mask requirement is still in place, but some other provinces are a bit more liberal and have done more than Ontario.
I see.
So it varies from province to province.
And what is the situation with the COVID? Is it spreading or is it contained?
It's going down. It's going down.
Good. Well, we have to watch it and balance it, eh? That's a good...
Yes. Yeah. And that's the idea.
Very good. Well, no, with that context, tell us now where we stand. Honorable Pearnel Charles' son is the Minister of Agriculture. He started off with a passion to increase agricultural production. I think it was 9.6% was the quarter-over-quarter increase up to December. That's good, but not nearly where we need it to be. The Minister of Finance in Jamaica, Steve McDonald, tells us that we have to diversify our economy to avoid the singular dependence or main dependence on tourism. All of these point to agricultural regeneration. The dealing with agricultural exports, their potential and their remuneration, that's your business. Tell us what you see other countries doing. Tell us what should be our priorities now.
It's a very good tee-up, and thanks for that. And just touching back on COVID, I think COVID has shown us that we don't have control over external markets. And in the blink of an eye, external markets can be cut off from us. And with regards to agriculture regeneration, I think we have an untapped market that we have overlooked, and that is the market at home, where we're at, where we have total control over, and no dependence on external forces and factors. And as a matter of fact, it can help us to reduce our, we can help it with substitution and reduce the amount of foreign exchange that we require on a regular basis, as you mentioned, the Minister of Finance. So one of the things that I've seen happening is in the US, I noticed this first, that breadfruit, there's a breadfruit paste, which is being sold, which is, I think is out of Costa Rica. And the paste is being used to make breadfruit fritters. And interestingly enough, I saw where Island Grill actually came up with a breadfruit box where they have quarter chicken, and they say St. Mary pressed breadfruit as part of their meal offering.
Our Island Grill in Toronto?
Yes, man, I saw it last night.
No, Island Grill in Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
Yes, and they have it flying there through in the...
Really?
And it marks breadfruit St. Mary.
That's Celia Lynn and Captain McKay. That's excellent. Okay. So
and to me is our acres of diamond that we're missing.
Yeah.
It's because I think if we were to have more of our fast food places start to use this up and use breadfruit in this manner. I also understand that Island Grill is also using green plantain in a similar manner, where it's a crush part of their meal. But if we were to have our fast food use this up, more of this being used up in our fast food hospitals, prisons, and so forth, we could definitely increase our breadfruit production and everything that goes along with that. Another area that I believe that we're missing is utilizing cassava. As we have those, Sunright does about a 2-inch or 3-inch cassava. If we were to substitute that cassava roll, that small cassava roll, with the bread roll, with our fast food restaurant, I think we would have a significant boost in the amount of business that we're doing and production. So
and
two areas.
Hold on, a couple of other things too. The breadfruit is gluten-free, Pearnel, and that's important for, I'm told, for health considerations to avoid many chronic diseases. And
they could be used in the hospitals.
Well, this is it, and you know my passion, Steve Pearnel, is the schools. Suppose you prepare these things and you started from educating people's tastes towards local produce rather than foreign produce. You see, we're spending close to $1 billion to import food in Jamaica right now.
Well, this is what I think that Steve touched on.
Yeah.
That if we start to consume more of the Jamaican products, then we would stop importing. But look at the market. Yeah. The millions of tourists that are coming to Jamaica. Yeah. I would be guess and say more than 50% said they would like to get some Jamaican food. Right? Yeah. We are importing much more of the same food them leave at them yard.
Yes, sir.
To feed them here.
Yes, sir.
When they would love to have Jamaican food, Jamaican sunshine, Jamaican soil, Jamaican...
Worse than that, sometimes we are importing the food that they are rejected in their market.
Let them leave over there.
And we spend foreign exchange for going to get them that which they didn't want over there.
But maybe I should say something to our guests. Yeah. My wife told me that there's a place in St. Thomas. The woman cannot produce enough mango and breadfruit trees. Yeah. Thousands. Yeah. So the Jamaicans have been, something has happened.
Yeah, but Mike and
People
Mary
are
Lou
planting,
McLaughlin,
huh?
yes, breadfruits that feed, trees that feed. Remember we had Mike McLaughlin on this program. You probably know him, Steve McDonald.
Yes.
Yes.
In Illinois. And they're promoting this miniature breadfruit tree.
Yes.
Freddie Hamilton has one in his place in Westmoreland, and many others. So
that's the key.
This offers us all kinds of opportunity. This is where the diversification of the economy, because while we've spoken about the hospitals and the prisons and the fast foods, what about the export market that you are serving in Toronto, Steve?
No, there's definitely a need, definitely a need for that, and we definitely cannot get enough
local produce.
We cannot get enough to supply. Yes, local produce to supply that market. But just going back home for a minute, you mentioned the schools. In Haiti. They were able to use the breadfruit to make something similar to our bulla and our Nutribun that they're using for
school feeding
in the schools. Yeah. So we discontinued our Nutribun in school because of dietary, and we didn't think it was the best. But in Haiti, they were able to reconfigure it, if I can put it that way, or engineer a type of product which is nutritious. Yeah. So it is breadfruit flour which is being used, and they're able to produce a Nutribun, which I think, for us, that is something that, again, we can use in our schools, hospital, and prisons.
But tell me now, who benefits from all that?
Us, the people, Jamaica.
No. Let's look at the virtuous strain, Mr. Charles, Mr. McDonald. You're talking about, first of all, the farmers.
Yes.
Yes. You're talking about the rural culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something has happened, Ronnie, and I don't want to say your friend, Mr. Charles, have anything to do with it.
But I hope he does.
But people are starting.
Yes.
And as I went home one morning to me, and my wife said I carried her recipe on radio. Right? Because I saw her with 45 breadfruits. So what are you going to do with all of this? Yeah. And she sliced them and wrapped them in this foil thing and freeze them.
And you're going to eat that instead of rice.
So hold on now. For months.
Months. Good for you.
And it can't spoil.
No.
It's frozen, so you take out. You can't do it. You can roast it again.
No.
You just steam it.
Sure.
And I'm sure that the food farm, the fast food place,
are doing the same thing.
Right?
But then no.
But I'm interested, Steve, in the breadfruit flour. Mm-hmm. Right? Because you have to process it to get a flour.
But I gather that it's relatively simple process. It can be done, Steve, but with not much technology.
That is correct. And at the same time, there's also cassava flour, which is there. So again, if we can over time change our taste bud, because we know that a significant portion of our people we don't eat dumpling, if I can, with just straight flour. We mix it with cornmeal. Yeah. So if we can come up with the Scientific Research Council can come up with a product which is palatable to everyone. And again, we can use this and we can have substitution with regards to our own product. But just tie that back into export. The people of Africa use cassava flour a lot. And so it's a big export. And that is because their taste bud have become accustomed to the cassava flour. So it's an export item.
Hold on, again, let me just make that clear. We need to tell our people in Jamaica and abroad that you are saying that Africans living abroad and others, they can get cassava flour from their native countries.
Oh, hold on, Ronnie. Yeah, you're a tone man.
Yes.
When I was a boy, and I said, go to the bitter cassava now.
Yes.
Not the sweet cassava.
Yes, sir.
Which the bitter cassava bigger. Mm-hmm. You dig it, you grate it, you squeeze out the milk
Yes, sir.
poison, right? And when you set it, and you get the starch.
Yeah, I know that.
You throw off the water and get the starch.
Yeah,
The trash is what you turn into a head. And you grate that
yeah.
either into a powder or you spread it out and make dukunu. You don't understand this thing.
No.
You think of today we are going to deal with this thing.
But then why?
Oh, no, tone, man. No. This
No,
song.
I know that.
So just to follow up on the starch,
Yeah.
and it's nothing being wasted. Cornstarch is a big thing, used in a lot of products.
Really?
And again,
and this,
cassava starch could be used in cornstarch because cornstarch is used in a lot of products. So what I'm saying, Reverend and Sir Charles, is that we have acres of diamonds at our feet
Acres
that we're not looking.
Hear this man now. Hear this man.
Right?
Acres of diamonds at our feet. I love that. Yes.
Right? That we for some reason we're not taking advantage of the potential that we have. And so you mentioned that Sir Charles' son is the Minister of Agriculture, which is good. So at least we can communicate with him the vision in terms of what we're seeing and where we're at. And if we can get more, because again, hospitals, prisons, schools, those are low-hanging fruit. We don't have to convince anyone to utilize the product there. We control that. We, meaning the government, control that marketplace. We can start introduce the NutriBun made from breadfruit flour into the schools, right? Into the prisons, into the hospital. The breadfruit paste as fritters. We can introduce that again into the hospitals, into the schools, into the prisons. So that's a given marketplace that we have. And then we can then go into, as Sir Charles mentioned, we can then go into the hotel areas. We can speak to our Thailand Island Grill, have already incorporated the breadfruit into the restaurants. Speak to more restaurants. Get the bami in there. Substitute the bami wafers for bread rolls. And then we go back to the days when back in the 70s and the 80s where we, similar to when we'll have the coffee truck would pass around. Have the trucks pass around and pass through different communities. Yes. Drive through Lennox Goods in Darlaston. Pick up the breadfruit, buy breadfruit from everyone. Yes. Right? Get the schools involved. Get Manning School involved. Have the children plant. Have the school plant. Use it. We're doing agriculture in schools. I'm just showing the interconnectivity. Yeah. You mentioned trees that feed. Have them issued. There's no breadfruit trees that bear all year round. Yes. But as Sir Charles said, the breadfruits can be frozen. So there's no need for a lack of supply. Yes. And I'm saying that these are things which are in our control. We don't have to depend on a foreign market, that a foreign market may be closed off, so we can't, we may not have access, or things may stay home and spoil. Our people have to eat. Let us start at home first and get that market going.
Steve, let me tell you something. Let's get back to cassava. There are two types of cassava, you know. Yeah. There's a bitter one that is poison. Yeah. And that is the one that Mama used to grate, squeeze out the white thing and make starch and take the trash and make bami and throw off the poison. Yeah. The sweet cassava now, you don't go through all of that. No. You can dig it and cook it and eat it.
So show me 100 acres of cassava planted in Jamaica now.
Yeah, man. Plant.
Because Red Stripe was using it.
But I understand that Red Stripe is backing off because I have a few acres that...
Well, I'm hoping that Red Stripe can be found out.
I'd like to find out. Yes. But go back to Steve. Steve, one of the problems we have is that these things are not all with us. Yeah. For example, breadfruit is not all the year round.
Well, now it can be.
But they come in with a breadfruit that plays, that can, Now, mango can go bear all year. I never know that. But this guy who is a pruner showed me that the more you prune, the more it bear. So the mango really don't stop bear at all.
No.
So things are coming.
And we have the stock already here, and we know how to prune, but we not do it. And we make front page headline.
Don't discourage me. We're doing it.
We're doing it little bit, sir. Little bit.
We start.
All right, sir. Now I grant you that, and everything has to start.
Yeah.
But
and I coming like Mr. Charles, the son, who said to me that, Daddy, I am not very comfortable. So he said that this climate change that I was in
can affect us.
Do you understand that we can get so much rain that everything gone, or no rain
that doesn't come?
So my God, is either too much rain or no rain?
Yeah, but that won't defeat him and mustn't defeat us. See, McDonald, we need a strategy. We need to know what the market is crying for abroad. We need to get out of the foreign mind. There's one thing you said, that I want to just have a caution to. You speak of using local produce in all of these institutions. There is huge resistance to that, sir. I bear testimony to it. I've told Pearnel. I tried to introduce local produce into the school feeding program. One of the most excellent food scientists in Jamaica, Jimmy Rawle, was the chairman of Nutrition Products.
Yes.
And we got the biggest fight from importers and from people within the system who insisted that it was so much easier to just sign the license.
Exactly.
And it's a mentality change as well as an agricultural change, Mr.
No,
McDonald.
it's a government change.
I'd hear that now.
It's a government change.
Here, Mr. Charles.
But Ronnie,
you're right.
If the government don't give license to go and import
leadership,
import coconut from Costa Rica, breadfruit from here, and so go plant it.
Can you imagine banana chips coming from the Dominican Republic?
Can you imagine, man? We don't have the banana in Jamaica.
So it comes back to the argument that we've been having, Steve McDonald, that maybe you're overhearing, that what is it that prevents avid leaders who have vision? What is it that prevents them from achieving that vision for the benefit of all of us, please?
Moral courage to stand up and to say enough is enough.
Yes. And that's what Mr. Charles and I are doing this morning.
Ronnie, I have the answer. I'm asking the question. The question is that
they say that nothing is new, and I remember, and this is not getting political, but I remember Mr. Michael Manley says that we're pretty much, in a nutshell, to learn to feed ourselves. And I think we need to go back there. And I think, if nothing, if there's no other lesson that we take from COVID, that is what we need to take in terms of security, food, in terms of our food
security.
Food security. And but at the same time, if we build from the bottom in terms of getting everyone involved in agriculture, for the simple, these breadfruit trees now are very small, as you mentioned, miniature breadfruit tree.
Yeah.
The most yards in country can have one or two. Yeah, I remember my yard in Sablama has about 6 different fruit trees. So most yard in country can have, throughout Jamaica, on an average, can have at least one breadfruit tree and also one of these mango tree.
Yes.
Steve, before you
run,
because I discovered yesterday, Ron, you know how many types of akis we have in Jamaica?
No.
Oh, I think it's about 15 different types of akis.
Really?
I mean, I can carry, I have 3.
Yeah.
One very soft, one that when it opens, it can stay 3 days on the tree until, as you said, the skin turn over before it starts. The other one, as it break, you have to use it. Right? If you cook it, it mash up.
But look at
the other one, you cook it, it's hard.
But sure.
So 9 or 10 types of aki.
Look at that. Steve McDonald, you always inspire us by your thoughts on what our possibilities are. Thanks so much for being a good countryman and a country Jamaican as well. As well as a Jamaican Canadian. Look forward to being in touch with you again.
And Steve, your friend, my son said to say hello whenever I hear you.
Yeah.
I didn't know you know him.
Thank you.
We have to link him up.
Yes,
all the best. Steve McDonald of Yaad Market.
We met in Canada when he came up.
Yes.
Much definitely. certainly would like to have a much broader discussion with him on some of the possibilities. And thanks very much, and to you both for having me, and to your listeners.
Thank you very much. Day. Steve McDonald, patriotic Jamaican, man who hasn't lost the national vision from Yaad Market in Toronto. Mr. Charles, I'm so happy that after the fervent discussions on other matters to do with life and death, we can end on a note of productivity and hope and possibility. Eh? That's nice for the early rise.
But, you know, let's go back to the gentleman this morning.
Yeah.
It shows us that it's a whole lot of Jamaicans. It's not just a plus or minus.
No.
There are many in-betweens.
Sure.
And we need to decide how the majority come out of that. You feel that the government is the answer. And I feel that...
Part of the answer.
Well, I feel that the system has to be rejuvenated.
And who controls the system?
Exactly.
I'm sure that this is going to be an abiding theme of us as we return to the early rise tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for being with us now.